What is up, everybody? Nick Fiore, Fiore's Nation YouTube channel, right here on YouTube. It is Sunday, March 21st of 2021. Um, I know this is a week from this past Monday Raw review and then SmackDown 2 nights ago. This is the review video for Raw last Monday and SmackDown this past Friday. The two go home shows for Fastlane tonight. So Raw review from this past Monday and SmackDown this past Friday. Those two shows for the review video right here. The two go home shows for Fastlane tonight, with Fastlane streaming live tonight on Peacock and on the WWE Network. Also the same very video right here, the Fastlane 2021 preview predictions video as well. I'm going to go over my preview predictions for tonight's card as well. Now before I get started, I know I haven't been posting videos as much past few weeks, but I know it's like college shit. I'm writing a screenplay script that's taken time. An art class I'm taking that's taken time as well. So I was trying to hand in some work in on time. I had a bunch of college work last week with not only like artwork but screenplay work as well. I was trying to get working on time and in a timely fashion, make it look good, and just had a bunch of college shit to do last week and getting working on time for the semester, this current college semester, and I'm graduating college this May as well. Just been running around all over the place and emailing professors, and such and such. Just so, if you want to know why I haven't been posting videos here in the channel the past couple of weeks, that's why. Also, thinking about other stuff, non-college related. But I was nervous going into this, and actually, I mean, I was excited for it to happen, but nervous at the same time, and anxious, nervous at the same time. But you know what? It all turned out well, and you know what? Didn't feel a thing because this past Friday, I thought I might tell you that this past Friday, I got my first shot of the COVID-19 vaccine. I got the first shot of the COVID-19 vaccine this past Friday. I got the first shot of it. Got Pfizer. So, thought I'd just tell you that. And also thinking about that a lot as of late and such. And I know with the review videos for NXT, NXT UK, and AEW Dynamite, I know I usually do them on Friday, Saturday at the latest with each week, but this past Friday, as I said, I got the COVID-19 vaccine this past Friday over in Westchester, New York, and White Plains. And then Saturday, because I got the first shot of the COVID vaccine this past Friday, I got it my left arm. So Saturday, left arm was just a little sore and couldn't feel it. Had a side effect with my left arm. I was just fatigued, just tired and such with the side effects from the first shot of the COVID vaccine this past Friday. So yesterday on Saturday, my arm was a little sore and my left arm was a little sore, to be specific. And I was just fatigued and just tired, and it's just so. If you want to know why I didn't do the reviews for NXT, NXT UK, and AEW, didn't do. If you want to know why I didn't do those three yesterday either, then that's the reason why. But speaking of NXT, NXT UK, and AEW review video, I'll probably post that tomorrow. I know I got college class tomorrow too, but I could possibly do it before class tomorrow online. Because my class tomorrow online's at 2. I could probably get it in before 2:00 in the afternoon tomorrow. And Fastlane 2021 review, that will be on the channel as well. So look out for that. That will probably be because one of my college classes, because I have one college class online tomorrow on Monday from 2 to 4. So Fastlane 2021 review will probably be after 4 tomorrow before Monday Night Raw. So I just thought I'd say that. And that is all the announcements I have to say as well. And one last announcement real quick before I get started with this video right here. Also, actually, two. Number one, my goal for 2021. I had a goal set for 2021, and that was to hit at least 30 to 50 subscribers for the channel right here on YouTube sometime this year in 2021 sometime for this year of 2021. And I looked through my subscribers things I looked through my my channel stuff, and I see that I got 30, and I saw I got 30 subscribers and 31 subscribers. So I have officially hit my goal, at least 30 to 50 subscribers. I'd love to hit I'd love to hit at least 50 this year, but now it's at least 30. So officially hit my goal, and I want to thank you all very, very much. I greatly appreciate it, guys. I want to thank each and every one of you as well, and I thank you all very much. You don't know how much this means to me, so I thank you all for that. And without you guys, I wouldn't be here. So I want to say thank you to all of you guys with making this possible. Really, really greatly appreciate it, and thank you. And I know I'm gonna hit more subscribers this year. And again, thank you all. And then number two, and lastly, for those who are subscribed to the channel already, those who just subscribed, and those who are watching this for the first time as well, mark your calendar dates. Make sure you mark your calendar dates, because major announcement. Mark your calendar dates, because Friday, April 9th of this year, 2021. Yes, I know it's the day of the SmackDown before WrestleMania this year in Tampa, but on Friday, April 9th of 2021, I want you to make sure. I want you guys to mark your calendar dates for April 9th, Friday of this year, because right here on the Furious Nation YouTube channel on Friday, April 9th of this year, Joseph Conlon of the Big Fight Field channel on YouTube. Shout out to Joseph Conlon. Hope you're watching. Hope you're doing good, brother, and hope you're doing all right. And I want to say how you're doing, and I want to say a shout out to you, Joseph Conlon. Joseph Conlon on the Big Fight Field channel will be making his debut right here on the Furious Nation YouTube channel, right here on YouTube. Joseph Conlon will make his debut right here in the Furious Nation YouTube channel on Friday, April 9th of 2021 this year, as Joseph Conlon and I on April 9th will preview and give our predictions of WrestleMania 37, Night 1 and Night 2 of this year's WrestleMania, for WrestleMania 37 this year in Tampa, Florida at Raymond James Stadium. Joe and I will be right here on the Furious Nation YouTube channel, giving our predictions and previewing WrestleMania 37, going over the matches, who we think is going to win, etc., which matches could main event Mania this year, Night 1 and Night 2, which matches should be on Night 1 and which matches should be on Night 2, and etc. So Joe and I will be previewing. So Joe and I will be previewing WrestleMania 37. Sure, we'll be previewing it on April 9th. So make sure you set your calendars, guys, for April 9th. Joseph Conlon and I, previewing WrestleMania 37 Night 1 and 2. Preview and predictions for for this year's WrestleMania, night 1 and 2, preview predictions, April 9th. You're not going to want to miss it. Make sure you set your calendar dates for April 9th. It's going to be can't miss. So it's going to be really good. So make sure you set your calendar dates. So make sure you set your calendars for that for April 9th of this year. And that is that, folks, for all of the announcements. And we're going to jump right into the video right here. We're going to start off with the Monday Night Raw review portion of this very video from Raw this past Monday night, Monday, March 15th of 2021, this past Monday night on Raw, the Raw go-home show for Fastlane 2021, god-awful show with Raw, as always, which I'm not surprised by. Nothing but illogical garbage on Monday Night Raw. Nothing to get you excited for Fastlane tonight. I'm not even excited. Am I excited for Fastlane tonight? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Outside of Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan, and all, etc., etc. And nothing on Raw was good. And nothing on Raw last Monday's Raw, nothing good whatsoever. Just 3 hours of Raw last Monday, wasted that you can't get back. Just a god-awful show, man. Terrible, terrible show. So Raw this past Monday, we start off with, okay, oh my notepad, it's fucking with me. Sorry guys, sorry for the delay. Come on, computer. Sometimes my computer, I apologize for this, guys. Sometimes my computer is like connected to internet, doesn't want to connect to internet. It's just, it's terrible. It doesn't do it often, but it will sometimes freeze and just not want to work for a minute or so. But it does get back to back connected to Wi-Fi and such. It's just, it's annoying. It really is annoying. And hold on, if I can get back. Come on. Hold on. This will be done real shortly, guys. All right. All right, we're good. We're set now. We are set. Oh, we're still live. Oh, okay. All right, good. I thought I accidentally X'd out the live streaming. It did not get X'd out. Thank God. Okay. All right, we're still on. All right, good. All right. Now we're rolling. Now we're rolling here. We'll go over Raw and stuff. You'll hear some ranting, believe me. So Raw last Monday night starts off with an in-ring segment with Bobby Lashley, an MVP of the Hurt Business. Bobby Lashley's music hits, his intro with Lashley with the intro thing with Lashley doing his Hurt Lock and the pyro. With Lashley's new entrance stuff as of late, I've been liking it as of late. It makes Lashley look legit, and all. So this new intro thing with Lashley doing his Hurt Lock and the lightning pyro goes off and Lashley's music hits. I like it, man. It makes Lashley look like a it makes Lashley look like a legit fucking badass, which I can appreciate. So I like it, man. I absolutely like it. So MVP and Lashley make their way down to the ring, and then they show a graphic of this year's, for one of the matches for this year's WrestleMania, one of the nights. They then had a graphic shown. Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley one-on-one for the WWE Championship this year at WrestleMania. Lashley McIntyre, WrestleMania main event worthy? No, I'm sorry. It's not. Unless you add Brock Lesnar in there. Unless you add Brock Lesnar in there, Lashley and McIntyre is not WrestleMania main event worthy. It's not. It's WrestleMania match worthy. Okay. They can do whatever they want with that. WrestleMania match worthy, okay. But WrestleMania main event worthy, no. Nowhere near. Nowhere near that. I'm sorry, it's not. It's not. So MVP and Lashley that are then in the ring. MVP has a microphone in his hands and he reiterates that we have entered the almighty era, says MVP. After 16 years of domination, Lashley finally had a chance to take the WWE Championship. Lashley says that he did. Lashley did exactly what he said he was going to do. Lashley destroyed Drew McIntyre on the way to winning the title, the WWE Championship, that is, and he will again, and he will again, and he will beat Drew McIntyre again at WrestleMania. And then Miz and Morrison come out. Oh joy, how many people changed the channel with that one there, with Miz and Morrison then coming out. Miz and Morrison then interrupt this segment, and Miz then says that he challenges Lashley to a match for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania in Stone Cold Steve Austin's voice, because this was the day before Austin 316 Day last week, obviously. And last week was Austin 316 week. Miz then says he wasn't at full strength when he fought Lashley with the title on the line. Miz said he had cramps, yada, 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 blah, 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 blah. Same old shit from the Miz. Drew McIntyre's music then hits, and then Drew power walks to the ring and he totally ignores Miz and Morrison. Like Miz and Morrison are a bunch of fucking scrubs on Raw, which is true. Miz and Morrison are two of the biggest jobbers on Raw. Miz and Morrison on Raw, man. They've lost to Drew McIntyre, Keith Lee, Sheamus. Miz and Morrison, like, I don't think they've even won a match before. Like, and Miz and Morrison, have they even won a match on Raw? I don't think so. Like, Miz and Morrison, have they even won a match on Raw yet? Ever since he drafted Raw last October in the draft? I don't think so. McIntyre's eyes are then fixed on Lashley. He has his eyes next on Lashley. Does Drew McIntyre. McIntyre gets to the ring and he congratulates Lashley for becoming the new WWE champion after 17 long years. McIntyre says he had a similar journey to the WWE Championship before, when McIntyre beat Lesnar for the WWE title last year in 2020, WrestleMania 36, when Drew McIntyre beat Brock Lesnar for the WWE title with WrestleMania 36, with last year's WrestleMania 36, but there was no fans last year. McIntyre then says the only difference is he won the Royal Rumble in 2020. McIntyre says he won the Rumble for the men in 2020, and then he went on to WrestleMania last year and beat Brock Lesnar in less than 5 minutes to win the WWE Championship last year at WrestleMania 36, says Drew McIntyre. McIntyre said that in 2020 he won the Royal Rumble and then he beat Lesnar in less than 5 minutes at WrestleMania 36 last year to win the WWE Championship and to become the new WWE Champion, says Drew McIntyre, and he beat Brock Lesnar. Lashley screwed McIntyre to get his hands on the title. MVP tries to butt in, but McIntyre cuts him off. McIntyre then says that he doesn't even know why MVP is here. In the beginning, it made sense. But now Lashley has no use for him. Lashley can talk for himself. I'm not sure about that one, Mr. McIntyre, or MVP. Well, I'm not sure about that one, but then Lashley tells McIntyre to worry about himself, not MVP, or to worry about him, about Lashley himself, not MVP. Miz then tries to insert himself into the conversation, but McIntyre shuts him down. McIntyre then tells The Miz he has two options. After McIntyre turns his back, Miz can attack him, which McIntyre wouldn't recommend, or he can turn around and run away. McIntyre isn't just going to beat Miz tonight. He's going to hurt him. McIntyre then calls Lashley a big, bald bitch. Lashley then attacks McIntyre after McIntyre says this to Lashley. McIntyre then attacks Lashley after this. No, Lashley then attacks McIntyre after this. McIntyre calls Lashley a big, bald bitch. McIntyre calls Lashley a big bald bitch. Lashley attacks McIntyre after this, though. Lashley then attacks McIntyre. And then after Lashley leaves, then Lashley leaves McIntyre laying in the ring. And then after this, Miz stomps out McIntyre. Lashley walks up the ramp. Sheamus attacks Lashley from behind him. Sheamus blindsides Bobby Lashley. And then that was that. And then we go backstage. Sarah Schreiber, I believe, backstage is then asking Sheamus why he just attacked Bobby Lashley. Sheamus says he is tired of McIntyre's excuses. Lashley is sticking his nose in Sheamus's business. Sheamus says tonight he's going to show the world that he is going to be the one to beat Bobby Lashley. And then they made the main event for Raw last Monday. Non-title match. Bobby Lashley versus Sheamus for the main event of Raw this past Monday. They made that match for the main event for Raw this past Monday. And they made the first match right away for Raw this past Monday night. The Miz with John Morrison versus Drew McIntyre. Oh, joy. Miz versus McIntyre. How many times have we seen this now already? What? 7 times? I've lost count. I've lost fucking count. The Miz versus Drew McIntyre again. Who cares? Who cares? Miz versus McIntyre. Again, if you missed this match, I don't blame you whatsoever. If you missed any of this match, I don't blame you at all. This match, man. No one gave a shit. I didn't even care about it. We've seen it too many fucking times already. Miz versus McIntyre. Rinse and repeat. And what do you think happened here? McIntyre hits it. Morrison gets ejected from ringside. I believe he does. Speaking of John Morrison, what the fuck was John Morrison's hairdo last week on Raw, man? John Morrison's hairdo on Raw this past Monday night. My God, does it look horrible. What the hell was Morrison's hairdo last week on Raw? Holy shit. It looked terrible. It looked absolutely terrible. They need to get Morrison away from the Miz ASAP. The sooner that happens, the better for John Morrison and his fucking career. Because the Miz is just blatantly holding him down, man. Morrison is worth a lot more than just being paired with the fucking Miz. They gotta get Morrison away from him. Awful. Absolutely fucking terrible, man. In every sense of the word. So, Drew McIntyre versus The Miz. Drew McIntyre hits a future shock DDT. McIntyre hits the Claymore kick. And I believe he slapped the leg. You know, and the WWE's recent stuff with the ban of the leg slapping, which is ridiculous. The leg slapping ban, that'll be gone shortly because everyone's doing it. So, and it's like you're fine for a leg slapping. That ban will go away quickly because everyone slaps their leg when they do a super kick or a Claymore kick or a bro kick, any kind of kick at all. That leg slap ban will be gone real quick, guaranteed. Guarantee it. That leg slap ban. That leg slap ban. That'll be quicker before you can even blink. Guarantee it. McIntyre hits a future shock DDT. McIntyre hits the Claymore kick. McIntyre then puts Miz in a hurt look. Miz taps out almost immediately. Drew McIntyre beats The Miz. And The Miz continues to be an absolute scrub on Monday Night Raw. God awful. Absolutely god awful. And then you want to know why the Raw ratings are fucking down. And then you want to know why the Raw ratings are still below 2 million viewers during Road to WrestleMania season. And then you want to know why Raw still can't get above 2 million viewers during the road to WrestleMania fucking season. Awful. And then we got the next in-ring segment, man. And this is where I'm going off. And you look at the thumbnail of this video, right? As you see the thumbnail with this very video. Now, not just the thumbnail, but the title, with some of the words in the title, but also some of the words in the title of this very video as well. The next in-ring segment is Braun Strowman and Shane McMahon. I don't know what to say, man. I don't. Now, I watched this segment. I watched the segment from the beginning all the way till the end. And I'm watching this and I'm like, am I watching Nickelodeon or am I watching Monday Night Raw at this point? And I'm watching this, it's like, am I watching Nickelodeon or am I watching a wrestling show? I can't even tell anymore with what I watched with this fucking segment last week on Raw. This segment was absolute fucking garbage. Garbage. It was trash. Fucking trash. Braun Strowman and Shane McMahon. Strowman demanded Shane to come to the... Strowman demanded Shane to get in the ring. Shane walks out on the ramp. Strowman then says his whole life he's been bullied by people like Shane. Strowman then says that Shane thinks he's better than him. Strowman then says that the McMahons don't apologize and he knows Shane had something to say last week, but he got scared. Ooh, I'm so intimidated by Braun Strowman, said no one ever. Shane then calls Strowman dumb again. Oh, Braun is stupid as stupid could be. So let me get this straight. Folks. So Shane McMahon and Braun Strowman on Raw in their recent fucking feud as of late. It's being built around the word stupid. It's being built around the word stupid. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? And then you want to know why I shit on this show. Absolute fucking horrendous garbage, man. Absolute fucking horrendous garbage. Strowman then says that so Shane calls Strowman dumb again. Strowman knows Shane wants a match with him, but is too scared to say it. Strowman then yells that he wants a match with Shane tonight. Oh, joy. Want people to change it? You want more people to change your channel? That's what you do. Have Shane versus Braun on Monday Night Raw. Garbage. Shane then goes into a tirade about how stupid Strowman is. Shane says if Strowman wants brains versus Braun, he's got it. Shane says Strowman is on. Shane versus Braun, I don't care. Shane versus Braun. If that happens at WrestleMania, you know where I'll be. If Braun versus Shane happens here, Shane versus Braun, if that match happens this year at WrestleMania, you know where I will be. I will be taking a piss or a shit, or I'll be having a snack break. I am not watching that match at Mania. I am not watching that match at WrestleMania. I'm not. That match is a waste of everyone's fucking time. That match That match is a waste of that match is a waste. Shane versus Braun at Mania. That is a waste of everyone's fucking time. And then we go backstage with R-Truth, thinking it's Austin 316 day, but it's the but Raw this past Monday was March 15th, the day before Austin 316 day. Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke and Lana and Naomi then tell R-Truth that Austin 36 then tell R-Truth that Austin 316 day is tomorrow. Truth then struggles to guzzle a beer and stumbles off. Who cares? Next, Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler they're then at commentary for the next match. Lana and Naomi versus Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke. Who cares? Who cares? This match, I don't want to even go over. I don't even want to go over much of this match at all because this match is just fucking boring. Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose win after Brooke surprises Lana with a spinning neckbreaker. Dana Brooke surprises Lana with a spinning neckbreaker for the win. Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose win. Who cares? Who cares? And it looks like we're getting Dana and Mandy at WrestleMania for the women's tag titles versus Shayna and Nia. It looks like we're getting that. That is garbage. That is garbage. That is absolute garbage. One match that should definitely be on the pre-show is that match, if that's the case. Terrible. And then we go backstage with Matt Riddle wishing the New Day luck in the tag team title match tonight. Woods and Kingston then wish Riddle good luck with his title defense. They agree to celebrate together later. Riddle then suggests that they all get matching tattoos. Woods and Kingston then both say that that's a bit much. Kofi Kingston then reminds Riddle that they have only known him for a few weeks. Matt Riddle says true maybe they can just get matching stallions or scooters. And then we get the next match of the night with Raw this past Monday night. Raw Tag Team Title match: The Hurt Business of Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin versus the New Day of Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. They had that Woods and Kingston hit Daybreak on Shelton Benjamin for the win. Woods and Kingston hit Daybreak on Shelton Benjamin for the win, and Kofi and Woods of the New Day win the Raw Tag Team titles again. And then before Woods and Kingston could celebrate, AJ Styles and Omos then interrupt. Styles congratulates Woods and Kingston. Styles then says he's done almost everything at this point, but he's never won the tag team titles. Styles says Omos had a great idea. Omos says they should be the tag team champions. Styles officially challenges New Day to a tag title match for the Raw Tag Team titles at WrestleMania. Xavier Woods then accepts. Now, I have a lot to say on this. Was the match decent? Yes, but the New Day, Kofi and Woods of the New Day, winning the tag titles here? I'm sick and tired of the New Day winning the tag team titles. They've seen their day. Now, the match is decent, but Kofi and Woods as tag team champions again? Again? The New Day as tag team champions. We've seen it how many times already? One too many. The New Day's seen their day. The New Day's absolutely seen their day. Then I read something the day after all this past Monday. I know it was like a WWE. I know it was from WWE's YouTube channel, like a after match backstage interview. I understand it was that their characters, but it's like But it's like, how stupid can you be? It's like Woods and Kofi, after they won the tag team titles for Raw this past Monday, the next day, this past Tuesday, Kofi and Woods were then interviewed and said, and Woods and Kofi say, they say people are complaining that New Day won the titles again. And then when Woods and Kingston then they say, quote, "Don't be mad at us. Be mad at the other teams not stepping up to the New Day. Don't be mad at the New Day." I can't be mad at Kofi and Woods of the New Day. I can't be mad at Kofi and Woods of the New Day. How many super kicks did Xavier Woods get from the Usos back in Hell in a Cell 2017? How many RKOs did Kofi get from Orton back on Raw in late 2009? How stupid can Kofi and Woods possibly fucking be? Kofi and Woods saying, "Don't be mad at the New Day." They should have never said that. It just makes them look stupid. It does. They never should have said what they said. It just makes them look like complete fucking fools. They never should have said that statement. They never should have said that statement whatsoever. And Kofi and Woods saying, "Oh, don't be mad at the New Day. Be mad at the other teams." No, sorry, Kofi and Woods. No, sorry, Kofi and Woods. Number one, Kofi and Woods, you don't put anyone over. You only put yourselves over. The New Day is Kofi and Woods of the New Day. They are the Charlotte Flair of the Raw Tag Team division. They don't put anyone over but themselves. They bury talent. It's the truth. Don't like it? Tough shit. Tough shit. And Kofi and Woods saying, no other teams have stepped up to the New Day. No, sorry, Kofi and Woods. You only put yourselves over. And you don't advocate for any other teams but yourselves. That's what it is, Kofi and Woods. Because Kofi and Woods of the New Day are fucking selfish. Who only put themselves over. But Kofi and Woods have the balls to say, "Oh, don't be mad at the New Day. You can't be mad at the New Day. Don't blame the New Day. Blame the other teams for not stepping up." Sure, Kofi and Woods, sure. And then AJ Styles and Omos in the Hurt Business. And then AJ Styles and Omos come out. AJ Styles and Omos challenged Kofi and Woods in the New Day. AJ and Omos, they challenged Kofi and Woods at WrestleMania for the Raw. They challenged Kofi and Woods to a match at Mania for the Raw Tag Team titles. Woods accepts. The match is on for Mania this year. Couple things I want to say here. WrestleMania 36, the Boneyard match. AJ Styles vs. Undertaker. That was great. AJ goes from that to WrestleMania 37, challenging for the Raw Tag Team titles. AJ Styles, Boneyard match with Undertaker. You go from that to challenging for the Raw Tag Team titles at WrestleMania 37. The Raw Tag Team titles are absolutely fucking worthless. They are worthless. This wallet has a lot more value. My wallet right here. Or no, I shouldn't say that. I have a better one. Oh. This toenail clipper has a lot more value than those Raw Tag Team titles. That is how worthless those Raw Tag Team championships are. They are absolutely fucking worthless. The only positive with this right here is it finally gets AJ Styles on the fucking card for this year's WrestleMania. That's the only positive out of this. And do AJ and Omos win the titles? AJ and Omos, I don't even consider them a tag team. And Gallows and Anderson, you released them last year in Black Wednesday, and then you put Omos with AJ Styles. It makes no sense. AJ Styles and Omos, what do they have in common? What do they have in common? Nothing. AJ with Gallows and Anderson, they have something in common. AJ and Omos, no. They have zero in common. Zero in common. Almost with AJ Styles, the pairing makes no sense. The pairing makes no sense whatsoever. The pairing makes no sense whatsoever. And is almost even that good of a wrestler. How many matches has Omos had on Raw? How many? Zero. 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 Omos was an NXT, not even on NXT television. He was with Malcolm Bivens with NXT local Florida house shows, not even on NXT television. And then he's one of Akira Tozawa's ninjas last June at Backlash last year in 2020. And then Omos was then with Raw Underground, which was a failure, and then quietly went away. And then Omos gets paired with AJ Styles. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Now, AJ and Omos could very well win the titles, and AJ could become a Grand Slam champion, but is Omos even that good of a wrestler? He's 7 foot tall. He's just there. He's just there. It's Omos, and it's like Omos's in-ring style. Is it like the Great Khali? You know, the Great Khali. Is Omos even that good in the ring? Is Omos even that good in the fucking ring? And also, Cedric and Shelton in the Hurt Business. You sacrificed them just for Woods and Kofi versus AJ and Omos for the Raw Tag Team titles at WrestleMania? With the Hurt Business being the only good part of Raw? And it's like Shelton and Cedric of the New Day. I mean, Cedric and Shelton of the Hurt Business. Sorry. Cedric and Shelton of the Hurt Business. You pretty much sacrificed them. You pretty much fed them to the New Day this past Monday on Raw just to do Kofi and Woods versus AJ and Omos for the Raw Tag Team titles at WrestleMania, and you find nothing wrong in that. You find absolutely nothing wrong in that. When you feed Cedric and Shelton to Kofi and Woods at a New Day last week on Raw, just for Woods and Kofi versus AJ and Omos at WrestleMania for the Raw Tag Team titles, when you have all of that, you know you got a fucking issue. Big time. Big time. Woods and Kofi versus AJ and Omos at Mania for the Raw Tag titles. Could be a decent match because it's AJ Styles, but again, is Omos even that good? I doubt it. And then you'll get clowns on social media. Oh, why are you complaining about this, man? It's Omos's in-ring debut and it makes a new star in Omos, man. New star my ass. New star my fucking ass. AJ and Omos are not even a tag team. There are 0 teams on Monday Night Raw. There are 0 fucking tag teams on Monday Night Raw. The only team they have on Raw is the Hurt Business, and that's it. And Cedric and Shelton are the Hurt Business. And they pretty much sacrificed them last week to the fucking New Day of Kofi and Woods. This past Monday night on Raw. Awful. Absolutely fucking awful, man. If you see nothing wrong with this, you're a complete fucking idiot. If you find no issue with this, you are a fucking blind fool. If you find no wrong in this whatsoever, you are a complete fucking simpleton. If you find no issue with this, you're a fucking idiot. Terrible. Absolutely fucking terrible. We then go backstage with Miz and Morrison running into Damian Priest and Bad Bunny. Priest and Bad Bunny then make a bunch of jokes at Miz's expense. Priest and Miz then get in each other's faces. Miz then walks away. Truth sneaks up behind Bad Bunny, but he gets caught before he can hit Bad Bunny in the head with the lunchbox. Truth then begs off after Priest sees him. Truth offers Bunny a bunch of Stone Cold Steve Austin merchandise. Bad Bunny then says thanks and asks Truth what he and asks Truth what he wants. Truth says he wants his baby back. Bad Bunny then says he respects Truth and this business, so he'll take Truth's Smoke and Skull replica belt and he'll give Truth the 24/7 title. Truth takes the belt and is elated. Priest then asks Truth what Bunny's name is, and Truth finally gets it right. And then as soon as Priest and Bad Bunny, and then as soon as Damian Priest and Bad Bunny then leave, Gulak, R-Truth is then chased by Akira Tozawa and Drew Gulak and Humberto Carrillo, who's now jacked, by the way. But Humberto Carrillo now on the gender juice I see now. Humberto Carrillo. But even now with that, Humberto's still chasing the 24/7 title. Even with that right now. Oh, no, man. Humberto's jacked like Jinder now. Humberto's getting that push, man. Humberto's still getting that big push, man. Sure he is. Then why is Humberto Carrillo still chasing the 24/7 title then? Huh? But Humberto Carrillo is finally Humberto's now jacked, and Humberto's finally gonna get that proper push that he deserves, right? Sure. Yeah, sure. And then after this we then get Damian Priest with Bad Bunny versus Jackson Ryker with Elias. Who gives a shit? Damian Priest hits the broken arrow followed by the hit the lights or the reckoning for the win. Damian Priest beats Jackson Ryker. Elias then attacks Priest from behind. Elias tries to hit Priest with a guitar. Bad Bunny rips it away. Elias picks up Bad Bunny for a slam, but Bunny escapes. Bunny lands a nice tight right hand. Elias turns around and Priest is standing there. Priest hits hit the lights or the reckoning on Elias as Damian Priest. Morrison then walks down the ramp and clapping. Does John Morrison. The Miz then sneaks up. The Miz then sneaks up from behind. Miz then sneaks up behind Bad Bunny and hits him with the guitar. Bunny hits the mat, writhing in pain. Miz then runs away as Priest checks on Bunny. As Damian Priest then checks on Bad Bunny. Who gives a shit, man? Miz and Morrison continue to be losers on Raw. I don't care. And Damian Priest. And Damian Priest in this shit right now. With Bad Bunny and Miz Morrison. Can we get Damian Priest out of this, please? He's worth a lot more than that. Can we get Damian Priest away from this bullshit, please? And get Damian Priest in the mid-card fighting for the U.S. title against Matt Riddle, please? I'd love that. Much better than what Damian Priest is doing right now with Bad Bunny and the Miz and Morrison. Terrible, man. And then we go backstage with MVP, and he says that what happens to Sheamus tonight is the same thing what's going to happen to Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania. And then we get Shane McMahon versus Braun Strowman. Now, before I rip into this, before I rip this a new one, I'm taking a sip of my drink. Shane McMahon versus Braun Strowman. What do you want me to say here? What do you want me to say here? Shane rolls out of the ring and he grabs a microphone. He says he needs to warm up a bit. Shane does a few push-ups and all. Shane then has hopscotch set up outside the ring, and then Shane says this will help him warm up and help Braun to learn how to count. You fucking serious, man? You absolutely fucking serious? Strowman then chases Shane around the ring. Because that's all Braun knows how to. Because that's all Braun Strowman does is run fast. Because that's all Braun Strowman does is run fast. Strowman then catches Shane and beats the crap out of him. Strowman then catches Shane McMahon and then beats the crap out of Shane. Strowman hits a big boot that sends Shane flying. Strowman gets ahead of steam for the Strowman Express. It's Braun Strowman. Shane hits Strowman in the head with the camera. Shane hits Strowman 2 more times. Shane lays Strowman on the announce desk. Shane drops an elbow off the top, destroying Strowman and the table in the process, with Shane dropping an elbow off the top by Shane to Braun through the announce table. And then after this, Shane then dumps a bucket of green paint on Strowman's head to Shane McMahon. Shane then calls Strowman stupid as he dumps another bucket of paint all over Strowman to Shane McMahon. Shane then yells at Strowman to never challenge him again. What do you want me to say here? I don't know what you want me to say here, guys. I really don't. Braun Strowman is dead. He is dead. Braun is dead and buried. He will never, ever recover. At this point, Braun, it's like the Pacific Ocean, and Braun's in the Pacific Ocean. He's barely trying to stay afloat. He's like desperately trying to get a gasp of breath, trying to peek his head out of the water above the ocean surface. Braun Strowman is fucking dead. Dead. And Braun will never, ever recover. A move to SmackDown won't save him. A move to NXT won't save him. A move to NXT UK won't save him. A move to SmackDown won't save him. A move to AEW won't save Braun Strowman either. A move to Ring of Honor won't save him. A move to New Japan won't save him. A move to MLW won't save him. A move to NWA won't save him. A move to Impact Wrestling will not save Braun Strowman. A heel turn won't save Braun Strowman. A forming of a new Wyatt family with Strowman, Ray, Bliss, Alexa Bliss, Bo Dallas, and Eric Rowan. And Eric Rowan with a new forming of a new Wyatt family. They could do that too. And that still won't, and that will not say, and that will not save Braun Strowman either. That's how dead Braun Strowman is. He is dead and he will never, ever, ever recover. That's how bad you buried. That's how bad you that is how bad you fucked Braun over. That is how buried Braun Strowman is. That's how dead in the water Braun Strowman is. Braun is fucking dead. As you see with one of the pictures of this thumbnail in this very video, as you see with the thumbnail part of this video, as you see that with this video, and as you see one of the title words in this video as well. Braun Strowman's dead. Monster among men? I don't think so. Braun Strowman, green paint poured all over him. Am I watching Nickelodeon or am I watching Monday Night Raw at this point? This was absolutely fucking atrocious. Whoever okayed this in the back deserves to be absolutely fucking terminated ASAP. Who did Braun Strowman piss off in the backstage on Raw this past Monday? Someone in the back must really hate Braun Strowman. How this even made it past Vince is just absolutely mind-boggling to me. This is not fucking wrestling. This is not wrestling whatsoever. Braun is dead. He's dead. And if Shane versus Braun does happen this year, WrestleMania, I hope Shane beats him because that's how dead Braun is. A win over Shane this year at WrestleMania, that will not save Braun Strowman either. Braun could be released tomorrow and nobody would care. Braun Strowman at AEW, that won't save him either. Even if Braun Strowman went to All Elite Wrestling, that's not going to save him either. That's how dead in the water Braun Strowman is. Braun is dead. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I really don't want to talk about it anymore. And Braun Strowman, green paint poured all over him. Monster among men? Sure. Braun's not a monster. Who's a monster? Raquel Gonzalez, Dave Mastiff, Bronson Reed, Lance Archer, Luchasaurus, Wardlow, Piper Niven, Brian Cage. Those are monsters, not Braun Strowman. Braun is dead. Braun Strowman is dead. Braun Strowman is dead in the water and he will never ever recover. And then we go backstage. Alexa Bliss is then talking to a Jack in the Box. Bliss says if Randy Orton wants her out of his life, he'll get his chance on Sunday at Fastlane, which Fastlane is tonight. Or will Orton take it? Says Alexa Bliss. Bliss then laughs and swings on her swing set. And then we get Asuka versus Shayna Baszler with Nia Jax. We got Asuka attacking Baszler from behind. Asuka kicks Jax in the head. The bell rings and Asuka hip attacks Jax off the apron. Baszler avoids a hip attack and lands a running knee. Baszler and Asuka trade submission attempts. Jax tries to get in the ring. Asuka kicks Jax into the ring post. Baszler puts Asuka in the Kirifuda clutch. Asuka floats over into a pin for the win. Asuka defeats Shayna Baszler in less than 2 minutes? And Asuka versus Shayna. And Asuka and Shayna. I like these two ladies, but you can't. But Asuka and Shayna Baszler, you can't. It's like you mean to tell me you cannot give these two ladies like Asuka and Shayna Baszler? They go for 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes. You mean to tell me you can't give them 15 minutes to show them what they can do with Asuka and Shayna Baszler? Where Asuka and Shayna Baszler, you give them 15 minutes, they'll tear the fucking house down. But you give them 2 minutes or less with Asuka and Shayna Baszler? Fucking terrible television, man. And then you want to know why the Raw Women's Division is absolutely fucking terrible. This was garbage. You give Asuka and Shayna 2 minutes or less. That's what you think of Asuka and Shayna Baszler? Horrible. And then after this match, so Asuka beats Shayna. Shayna still has the Kirifuda clutch on Asuka. Shayna doesn't let go of the hold. Baszler doesn't let go of the hold. Baszler eventually lets go. Asuka knocks Baszler into the corner. Asuka super dragon curb stomps Baszler into the bottom turnbuckle. Does Asuka. Asuka then removes the turnbuckle pad and grinds Baszler's mouth into it. Does Asuka. Asuka tries to curb stomp Baszler into the exposed turnbuckle, but the referees step in the way and they stop Asuka from doing so. Asuka and the referee then argue as Baszler rolls out of the ring. The only good parts of Raw, the NXT promo package, the SmackDown promo package, and those two are not even Raw related. The only few good things of Raw, the only few good things of Raw last Monday, the promo packages for NXT and SmackDown, and Asuka attacking Shayna Baszler. We saw a little bit of NXT Asuka here. The more there's Asuka, the better. We should see this Asuka more often. We saw a little bit of NXT Asuka on right here from Raw this past Monday. We should see this Asuka more often. And the only good part of Raw being Raw related, this right here, Asuka attacking Shayna Baszler after Asuka beat Shayna Baszler. And it's like the only good things of Raw. Like the only good things of Raw last Monday. Asuka attacking Shayna Baszler post-match. And then the promo packages for NXT and SmackDown. Those three being the only good things of Raw last Monday, and you find no wrong in that. Garbage. And then we get the U.S. title match. And then we get the United States Championship match between Matt Riddle and Mustafa Ali with Retribution. We got Matt Riddle landing a kick that sent Ali flying through the ropes. Riddle then follows Ali, and then Ali trips Riddle into the announce desk. We then had Ali hitting a swinging neck breaker off the apron, which looked nice. Ali hits a swinging neck breaker off the apron to Matt Riddle, which looked nice. We then Matt Riddle fires up and hits a suplex followed by a Broton. Riddle gets a near fall after the blackout or the final flash knee. Ali then blocks the final flash and hits a wheel kick. T-Bar gets on the apron as Riddle rolled up Ali. Ali reverses it, but the referee was still distracted from T-Bar. Riddle then picks Ali up and hits a Bro Derek for the win. Winner and still the U.S. champion Matt Riddle. So Ali had the title one, but T-Bar accidentally cost Mustafa Ali the U.S. title here. Is this the end? Is this a possible breakup of Retribution? I hope so. Break up Retribution. It was a failure from the start. Break up Retribution. Get Mustafa Ali on his own. Bring back Dominik Dijakovic. Bring back Dio Madden and Shane Thorne. And bring back Mia Yim. Have Mia Yim in the Raw Women's Division. Fighting for the Raw Women's title on Monday Night Raw. Bring back Dominik Dijakovic. Have Mustafa Ali on his own. And then Shane Thorne and Dio Madden. Send them back down to NXT. and then Shane Thorne and Dio Madden, send them back down to NXT. Send Shane Thorne back down. Send Shane Thorne back down to NXT, and send Dio Madden back to the Performance Center with NXT. That's what needs to happen. That's what needs to happen. Matt Riddle retains the U.S. title. Matt Riddle retains the U.S. title. And then we go backstage with Cher Schreiber. She asks Randy Orton what he thinks about Alexa Bliss's challenge for a match this Sunday at Fastlane, which Fastlane is tonight. Orton accepts Bliss's challenge. And then we get McIntyre walking down to the ring, and he says he's going to sit ringside for the next match. And then we get the main event of Raw this past Monday. Non-title match, Bobby Lashley, the WWE Champion with MVP, versus the Celtic Warrior, Sheamus. So, take another sip before I talk about this. Okay. All right, so Sheamus and Bobby Lashley. So Sheamus and Bobby Lashley here. We had Sheamus hitting the Irish Curse backbreaker. Lashley kicks out at 1. We then had Sheamus put Lashley in a modified cloverleaf after Sheamus hit Irish Curse on Lashley. Sheamus walks into a power slam from Lashley. Sheamus kicks out. Sheamus misses a bro kick. Lashley almost locks in the hurt lock, but Sheamus avoids it. Lashley drops Sheamus with a flatliner. Lashley hits a superplex. Lashley calls for the spear, but Sheamus counters it with a knee strike. Sheamus hits white noise and finally gets a 2 count. Sheamus then goes for another bro kick, but before Sheamus gets full extension, Lashley catches Sheamus with a spear for the win. Lashley beats Sheamus. Then after the match, Lashley then puts Sheamus in the hurt lock. McIntyre gets in the ring as Sheamus is rolling around on the mat. He bumps MVP. Lashley turns his head and McIntyre obliterates him with a Claymore kick. Lashley is sent flying out of the ring. And then that was Monday Night Raw last week. Sheamus and Lashley. Sheamus I like. He's a damn good worker, Sheamus, but Sheamus versus Lashley. You book yourselves into a corner. Sheamus can't lose and Lashley can't lose. Bobby Lashley's a WWE champion. Champions should not be losing clean in non-title matches. And Sheamus is fighting Drew McIntyre tonight at Fastlane. And Sheamus is fighting Drew McIntyre tonight. At Fastlane. So Lashley can't lose, Sheamus can't lose. You're booking yourselves right into a corner here. And Lashley beats Sheamus clean here. So Lashley beat Sheamus clean here. And then Lashley put Sheamus in the hurt lock. Then after this match, this makes Sheamus look weak going into his match with McIntyre tonight at Fastlane. This makes Sheamus look fucking weak going into his Fastlane match tonight against Drew McIntyre. Sheamus versus Lashley last week. It made no sense. Lashley versus Sheamus on Raw this past Monday night. It made absolutely no sense when neither guy can fucking lose. Illogical fucking booking. Absolute illogical fucking booking. And Raw was fucking terrible last week. Raw was terrible this past Monday. a god-awful go-home show with Raw this past Monday. Terrible. Raw was trash last week. The only good with Raw last week, the promo packages for NXT and SmackDown, and the Asuka attack on Shayna Baszler. Other than that, Raw last week was terrible. As always. Raw terrible. As always, which I'm not shocked by whatsoever. Raw is the worst show on television. Terrible. Raw was fucking terrible last week. And that's the Raw review portion of the Spirit video right here. From Raw this past Monday, March 15th. With Raw this past Monday night. March 15th of with Raw this past Monday night. March 15th of 2021. And now let's get into the SmackDown review portion of this very video right here with SmackDown. This past Friday night with SmackDown 2 nights ago. With March 19th of 2021. Let's get started with that. And we might as well just jump into it as well. So SmackDown this past Friday night 2 nights ago. Show starts off with Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks backstage arguing. We had Belair telling Banks that defending the title tonight is a bad decision, and all this is happening because Banks is entangled with Reginald. Belair says she isn't going to save Banks tonight. Banks says she didn't ask her to. And Belair then says, Sasha, I just don't want you and I need you to win tonight, because Belair says that it needs to be her versus Sasha at Mania. Because Belair says that at Mania this year for the SmackDown Women's title, it needs to be Belair herself versus Sasha Banks. And then the show starts off with a match. In the very first match of the night, SmackDown Women's Championship match. Sasha Banks versus Nia Jax with Shayna Baszler. No Reginald here. SmackDown Women's title match between Sasha Banks and Nia Jax, with Shayna Baszler at ringside for Nia Jax. We had Banks kneeing Jax in the head. Banks head scissors Jax into the middle turnbuckle, running double knees by Banks. Banks then almost locks in the bank statement on Jax, but Nia Jax escapes it. Jax then runs over Banks. Jax lifts Banks up in a gorilla press drop. Jax then drops Banks after walking around the ring with her suspended in the air. Elbow drop from Nia Jax. Banks kicks out. Jax hits the Samoan drop on Banks in the match early on Banks. Sasha Banks kicks out again. Belair then power walks to the ring as Banks rolls out of it. Belair looks concerned. Belair then tells Banks that she's got this and to get up. And then they go to the commercial break. So in the beginning of this thing here, Belair says she's not going to go to ringside for the match, but Belair says she's not going to go to ringside. Bianca Belair says she's not going to go to ringside for this match, but then she does. Logic gap, Bruce. You fucking clown. Bruce. Logical. And then we come back from the commercial break, and then Nia Jax is stomping on Sasha Banks' knee. Jax slaps on a stretch muffler to Nia Jax. Jax then swings Banks' head into the middle turnbuckle, which looked fucking nasty and dangerous. Banks then manages to kick out again. Jax then puts Banks in the stretch muffler again. Banks reverses it into a sunset flip. The Sasha Banks. Jax kicks out. Banks surprises Jax with a bank statement. Baszler and Belair get into a little scuffle. The ref gets distracted by Belair. Baszler tries to knee Banks while the referee's back was turned, but Banks moves out of the way. Baszler levels Jax with a knee strike. Baszler levels Jax with a knee strike. Belair tosses Baszler out of the ring. Sasha Banks with a jackknife cover. And Sasha Banks pins Nia Jax. And Sasha Banks wins and retains the SmackDown Women's Championship. Now, this match here, I expected this match to be a train wreck. To be honest with you guys, this match I expected to be an absolute train wreck because Nia Jax is a hazard and is an unsafe worker in that ring. But surprisingly, this match was bearable. This match was tolerable, and that's because Sasha Banks carried Nia Jax. You know, Sasha Banks calls herself a legit boss. It's not a nickname anymore. That's what Sasha Banks truly is. She is one of the best female wrestlers today. Probably in the world of Sasha Banks, probably. Outside of Io Shirai, in my opinion. Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks says she is the standard bearer. It's not a catchphrase anymore. That's an absolute fact. It is. And this match right here proved that. Sasha legit carried Nia with this match, and I expected this match to be a train wreck. I did. But shockingly, this match I expected to be terrible. This wasn't half bad. This was bearable, and Sasha was able to carry Nia. So, that I will say, Sasha was able to carry Nia, and Sasha retains absolutely the right move. Because Nia and Belair for the SmackDown Women's title at WrestleMania 37, that's not WrestleMania. Who the fuck wants to see that? Nobody. Banks and Belair is your match, not Jax and Belair. Sasha Banks beating Nia Jax. Sasha Banks retaining. Sasha beats Nia. Sasha retains. Sasha retains. Sasha retaining. The right call. Sasha retaining was absolutely the right. Sasha retaining here was absolutely the right call. And then we go backstage with Edge. He says Jey Uso is one of the best talents walking the planet right now, but he will never realize his potential while he is walking in Roman Reigns' shadow. And then we go backstage with Nia Jax telling Shayna Baszler that if she makes the same mistake this Sunday, she's going to destroy her. Baszler apologizes. Jax is not interested. Baszler then says she will get a match with Bianca Belair tonight, and she'll kick her head in, and she'll kick her head in, and she'll kick her head in, and she'll kick her head in to make it up to Nia Jax. And that was that. Then we got a few video packages throughout the night highlighting Edge's SmackDown highlights with SmackDown 02. I think it was like, yeah, it was 2002 episode of SmackDown when they were on Thursdays and before they were live, way before they were live. I think it was SmackDown 02, 4th of July of 2002 SmackDown, when it was the very beginning of the very first brand split and the very beginning of the Ruthless Aggression era. It was at that time Hulk Hogan and Edge won the WWE Tag Team titles at the time, I believe, from Chuck Palumbo and Billy Gunn, I believe, at the time. They showed a SmackDown highlight. They showed a SmackDown Edge highlight with that during the night. With SmackDown this past Friday night on Fox 2 nights ago, they showed that highlight, which was nice. They showed other Edge SmackDown highlights throughout SmackDown this past Friday night, two nights ago Fox on Friday Night SmackDown as well. They showed Edge cashing in on Undertaker on SmackDown May 07, I believe, when Edge cashing his with Edge cashing in his second Money in the Bank on Undertaker at the time in May 07 on SmackDown. I believe they showed that, and I also saw that they also showed SmackDown April 2011, where Edge was forced to retire a decade ago. So they did show that as well. So they showed those Edge SmackDown highlights from video packages. They showed that during SmackDown this past. They showed all that during SmackDown 2 nights ago. So I just thought I'd say that. And then we get the next in-ring segment. And Seth Rollins makes his way down to the ring. He has his Burn It Down music goes off. Seth Rollins is wearing a different suit. It was like a dark blue and a white color combo like suit. It was, I think it was like the white pants or blue shirt or blue pants, white shirt. It was like a blue and white color combo of a suit that Seth was wearing 2 nights ago on SmackDown. Seth Rollins wearing these different suits as of late, every week on SmackDown as of late with Seth Rollins. So that was that. Got a text. Oh, just get text from other people. So we're gonna talk real quick about the Seth Rollins segment here. But before that, I want to take a drink so I have enough voice to talk about. Want to talk about the rest of SmackDown with this video here. I want to talk about the rest of SmackDown from 2 nights ago, and I want to talk about my preview predictions for Fastlane tonight. So this in-ring segment here with Seth Rollins, he has a microphone. He gets in the ring. He has a mic in his hand. Rollins is complaining about being disrespected by the entire roster when he returned to SmackDown weeks ago. One person took the disrespect too far. Cesaro stayed at the ring and mocked him. Rollins knows why Cesaro did what he did. Rollins says Cesaro was jealous of him. Rollins says he's a certified main eventer. And then Rollins says Cesaro is an abject failure. Rollins then shows footage of the beatdown he gave Cesaro from last week after Cesaro fought Buddy Murphy on SmackDown previous week. Rollins attacked Cesaro. Rollins attacked Cesaro with 3 curb stomps and then with the chair stuff. Therefore, stopping Rollins. They showed that from SmackDown the previous week. Rollins then laughs and jokes that Cesaro is always tired from swinging around trying to get the brass ring. Rollins then notes that Cesaro swung him over 20 times. I think he said like 22 times, if not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. So Seth Rollins then says that Cesaro will never disrespect him again. Shinsuke Nakamura's music then hits. And Nakamura walks down to the ring. Rollins then yells to Nakamura not to disrespect him. Rollins is like yelling through the mic, Shinsuke, no, don't do it, Shinsuke. Don't disrespect me. Don't disrespect me, Shinsuke Nakamura. Don't disrespect me, Nakamura. Then Rollins then says, Rollins knows, no, Rollins then, so Rollins yells to Nakamura not to disrespect him. Rollins knows Nakamura is better, smarter than Cesaro. Rollins then warns Nakamura not to get in the ring. If he does, Rollins will beat him like he did Cesaro. Nakamura then gets in the ring and he snatches the mic from Seth Rollins. And then Nakamura then tells Rollins to shut up, which I laughed. Nakamura's like, shut up. And I laughed. Rollins then swings, but Nakamura ducks. Nakamura floors Rollins with a kick. Nakamura calls for the Kinshasa. Rollins rolls out of the ring. Nakamura then tells Rollins to come on, and Rollins loses it and runs back in the ring. Nakamura does his come on. So Nakamura does that. Rollins is livid with this. He gets back in the ring. Rollins eats a Kinshasa from Shinsuke Nakamura. And Rollins in the way he sold that Kinshasa, holy shit. So Rollins sold it as if he was getting electrocuted. Rollins and the way he sold that Kinshasa looked really nice. It did. I will have to admit that. And then that was the segment there with Seth Rollins and Shinsuke Nakamura. And they also confirmed later on in the show another match announced for Fastlane tonight. Seth Rollins for Shinsuke Nakamura. And that I do not mind at all. You're not going to hear Rollins versus Nakamura with Fastlane tonight. You will not hear one complaint from me. You will not hear one complaint from me. You will not hear one complaint from me with that. With Rollins and Nakamura tonight at Fastlane. Rollins and Nakamura, one-on-one official for Fastlane with tonight. That should be a good match. Hopefully it's a good match. It should be. And should be a good match tonight. Rollins will beat Nakamura tonight, but they'll have a good match. But I like the segment here with Rollins and Nakamura. This was good. And then we get the Street Profits, versus Dominic and Rey Mysterio. This match went like a few minutes. We had Dominic rolling up Dawkins for the win. Dominic and Rey Mysterio win. Dominic and Rey then celebrate. Dawkins and Ford are shocked. Chad Gable and Otis then walk down to the ring and tell Dominic and his father that they are next in line for a shot at the SmackDown Tag Team titles. The Mysterios then send Otis and Gable out of the ring. Dominic lands a springboard to the outside that takes out both Gable and Otis. And then we get Alpha Academy versus Dominic and Rey Mysterio. Alpha Academy wins after Gable hits the Chaos Theory on Dominic followed by a splash off the top by Otis. The Alpha Academy defeats the Mysterios. Now, I have something to say on this before I do. So Mysterios and Street Profits. Mysterios beat the Street Profits, right? And then impromptu Mysterios versus Alpha Academy. So the Mysterios beat the Street Profits, only for the Mysterios to lose to the Alpha Academy. Illogical booking. Illogical fucking booking. And Rude and Ziggler and Alpha Academy versus the Mysterios on commentary for this match. The Street Profits and Rude and Ziggler. That did not help either. Ziggler and Rude and the Street Profits on commentary for Mysterios versus Alpha Academy. That did not help either. That did not help either whatsoever. And the Mysterios beat the Street Profits in 2 minutes. When Mysterios and Street Profits, you could give them 15 minutes. Mysterios and Street Profits. Same thing with the Mysterios versus Alpha Academy, and the Mysterios beat and the Mysterios beat the Street Profits, only for the Mysterios to lose to the Alpha Academy. The tag team division on Raw and on the tag team division sucks on Raw and on SmackDown. Though it's worse on Raw. But still. The tag division sucks on Raw and on SmackDown. Especially on Monday Night Raw. Merge the tag team divisions. There's not a lot of tag teams right now. There's not. If you had a lot of teams on Raw and a lot of teams on SmackDown, then maybe it would be okay for 2 divisions and 2 titles for the tag team. Same thing with the women. But right now there's not a lot of tag teams right now. Mysterios beat Street Profits, only for the Mysterios to lose to Alpha Academy. Illogical fucking booking, man. Illogical fucking booking. But I'm not surprised. This is Vince McMahon. This is Kevin Dunn. This is Bruce Pritchard. But I'm not surprised. This is Vince McMahon, Kevin Dunn, and Bruce Pritchard. They don't care. They do what they fucking want. And they could care less. Awful. Mysterios beat Street Profits, only for the Mysterios to lose to the Alpha Academy. Terrible. And then we go backstage with Sami Zayn. He's complaining about having to face Baron Corbin tonight. Kevin Owens then walks in and tells Sami Zayn that he still isn't sure about being in this documentary. Owens then asks Zayn if he's thought about the fact that he is twisting things to fit his narrative. Owens then notes that he has never heard Sami admit when something was his fault. Sami says nothing is his fault. Sami tells Owens to come to the ring for his match later tonight. If Owens doesn't see proof of his conspiracy theory, Zayn will drop all of this. And then we got the next in-ring segment. With Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan's in the ring and he says he knows if Uso wins tonight. Bryan says he knows if Uso wins tonight, he will do everything in his power to make sure Reigns wins. If Reigns was half the champion he thought he was, he wouldn't need Uso's help. If Edge wins, who knows what will happen? Edge wants to face Reigns because he thinks he can beat him. Edge knows he cannot beat Daniel Bryan. Bryan knows he can beat Reigns. Bryan is going to make Reigns tap just like he did Uso. Reigns and Heyman hear this. Reigns and Heyman then hear this. They walk out on the stage. Roman says Bryan cannot. Roman then says that Bryan cannot tap him out. Roman then says that Bryan cannot tap him out. Roman says that Bryan has no chance. Bryan has a better chance of shooting lightning out of his butt than he has of tapping Reigns out. Reigns says no one has ever made him tap out. Reigns will die in the ring before he would tap out to Bryan. Then Bryan's like, oh, that's harsh. Bryan then says everyone thinks they are unbeatable until they aren't, says Daniel Bryan. Bryan then says everyone thinks they are unbeatable until they are not. Daniel Bryan says that he isn't going to tap Reigns out. Bryan says he is not going to tap Reigns. He is not going to tap Reigns out. Bryan is going to break Reigns. Tap out of no. Reigns will lose at Fastlane. And then that was that with that segment. And then a promo airs. And then a promo airs announced the next match as the least anticipated match in SmackDown history. Baron Corbin versus Sami Zayn. And now the Roman and Bryan segment. This was a very good segment here, man. Very good segment. Roman and Bryan should have always been the Mania. Roman and Bryan should have always been the Mania match. But Edge booked himself to win the Men's Rumble this year. And yet there will be clowns on social media. Oh, fuck Daniel Bryan, man. Bryan needs to mind his own fucking business, man. Bryan has no business being in Edge's business with Roman and Edge at Mania this year for the Universal title, man. Bryan needs to mind his own business, man. The stuff with Roman and Edge, it doesn't concern Daniel Bryan whatsoever, man. This doesn't concern the stuff with Roman and Edge. This does not concern Daniel Bryan whatsoever, man. Motherfucker, yes it does. Yes it does. Edge booked himself to win the Rumble this year for the men. Daniel Bryan, the men's Rumble this year, Daniel Bryan was supposed to win. Daniel Bryan was originally supposed to win. And hold on.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna be long.
You want me to rip it down?
I'm gonna be long.
How long will you be doing that 30 thing?
30 minutes.
Okay.
I'm sorry about that, guys. My grandparents are just they're just unbelievable. Don't even want to talk about it. Don't even want to talk about it. People, clowns on social media want to say Roman and Edge at Mania for the Universal title. Bryan doesn't belong. Yes, he does. Because for the men's Rumble this year, Daniel Bryan was supposed to win, but Edge booked himself to win. And with Daniel Bryan, you're not leaving him off of WrestleMania this year. You're not. Do you want to see Daniel Bryan in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal this year at WrestleMania? I don't. Because he won't win it. And if he does, it won't mean anything if he wins it. Daniel Bryan in the IC title situation this year at WrestleMania? No. Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania this year, fighting for the SmackDown Tag Team titles? No. Bryan versus Nakamura, they're both babyfaces. It makes no sense. You're not leaving Bryan. You're not leaving Bryan off of WrestleMania this year. You're not going to do that. Roman Edge, Universal title, WrestleMania. Daniel Bryan has to be added. It needs to be made into a triple threat. It needs to be a triple threat. And WrestleMania this year for the Universal title with Edge, Roman, and Bryan. That needs to happen. And it just makes it that much better. And if you want Edge to win the title, and Edge is Universal Champion, if you want that so bad, fine. Add Daniel Bryan in there. Make it a triple threat. And Edge can pin Bryan because you're not pinning Roman Reigns. I'm sorry, you're not. Edge can pin Bryan, and Roman would not be buried, and he'd still have that momentum behind him. And Roman wouldn't be buried; he'd still have that steam and momentum behind him, and it protects Roman Reigns. Edge can pin Bryan, and it would protect Roman. And Edge pinning Bryan is not going to bury Daniel Bryan either. Daniel Bryan's bulletproof. He could lose a million times, and Daniel Bryan would still be okay. Daniel Bryan's bulletproof. Bryan losing to Edge is not going to hurt Bryan. It won't. It won't. It needs to be a triple threat at WrestleMania this year for the Universal title with Edge, Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan. That needs to happen. And if this segment didn't show you that, and if this segment did not show you that, I don't know what does. I don't know what does. Roman and Bryan feels more of a Mania match than Edge does. Good segment here with Roman and Bryan. Roman and Bryan, that feels more that feels more like WrestleMania, if you ask me. Roman and Bryan, that feels more like WrestleMania than Edge does. Because this is a good segment right here with Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan. This was a good segment right here with Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan. And then we get the next match, Baron Corbin versus Sami Zayn. We had Kevin Owens on commentary. We had Kevin Owens on the commentary desk for this match as well. We had Corbin winning with the end of days. Baron Corbin beat Sami Zayn. I didn't really care for this. Then after this match, we got Sami then yelling at Kevin Owens, asking if he saw what just happened. Owens says the only thing he saw was great officiating. Sami walks away. Owens then turns to talk to Corey Graves. Sami then charges in and hits a nasty Aluva kick to Owens. Owens is out cold, and Sami slapped the leg. And Sami Zayn with the leg slap with the Aluva kick as well. And we could get Owens and Zayn. And Owens and Zayn one-on-one this year at WrestleMania 37 in Tampa. Kevin Owens for Sami Zayn. We could get that, and I would not mind that at all. But Sami Zayn's a loser. I like Sami Zayn. He's a genius heel, Sami Zayn, but the guy's a loser. And I hate to say that because Sami Zayn's and one of the good parts of SmackDown is Sami Zayn. And Sami and Kevin are real life best friends. And best friends make for a good match. And Sami and Kevin are real life best friends. And Sami versus Kevin. One-on-one. It's like they're destined to fight forever. And Sami versus Kevin. Some people might not ever get tired of that. Some people might not ever get tired of that with Sami versus Kevin. But you know what? Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, man, they're destined to fight forever, and they're real life best friends. So Owens versus Zayn. So Owens and Zayn one-on-one this year at WrestleMania. If that's the case, I would not mind that at all. And when Sami was the IC champion back in late 2020 last year, when Sami Zayn was the Intercontinental Champion at the time, I actually had an idea of this year's WrestleMania for the IC title, Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. That was the original thought of an idea for one of the matches for this year's WrestleMania, but Owens versus Sami, this one-on-one this year at WrestleMania, if that's what they're going with here, IC title on the line or not, that's what they're going with. I'm okay with this. Because Owens and Zayn are real life best friends. It'll be a good match. And Owens is good at what he does, and so is Sami. So that's that. And then we get the next segment of the night. Apollo Crews, the sit-down interview with Apollo Crews and Big E. Apparently, they're fighting each other tonight at Fastlane for the Intercontinental Championship, apparently. We had the sit-down interview with Apollo Crews and Big E. They were both in different locations, with a sit-down interview with Michael Cole with the sit-down interview being monitored by Michael Cole. Cole asks both men if they will ever be able to settle their differences. Biggie says that that's over. Cole may want to talk about reconciliation, but Biggie only cares about vengeance. Biggie then tells Apollo Crews he has only 2 days until Fastlane. Take the next 2 days to enjoy being able to have full use of all of his limbs. Biggie then exclaims Cruz's future. Biggie then exclaims that Apollo Cruz's future is bleak. Biggie will retain his title Sunday. Cruz tells Biggie to choose his words more carefully when addressing Nigerian royalty. And Apollo Crews talking in his Nigerian accent as well. Apollo then tells Biggie that he's going to crack Biggie's face. Cruz is finally going to have what he deserves, and that's the Intercontinental Championship. Cruz's ancestors will stand with him as he is standing over Biggie's mangled body. Biggie then takes off his mic and says he isn't waiting until Sunday. Biggie hops in a golf cart to find Cruz. Biggie almost hit Cruz with the golf cart. Cruz then backs off. Biggie then slams Cruz into the wall multiple times. Biggie hits Cruz with a garbage can. Biggie then begins to stomp Cruz. Biggie then pinballs Cruz all over the backstage area. Cruz's shirt is ripped off in the process. As referees and officials pull Biggie off of Cruz, Cruz hops in the golf cart and drives away. And then that was the end of that. Really good stuff here, man. I am really liking what they're doing right here. All right, hold on. Yeah. Okay, where you guys going? All right, are you sure you're better? All right, be careful out there, okay? Love you. Sorry about the interruption again. Please ignore that, guys. And apparently my grandparents were went to the cemetery to do some palm things today, but my grandmother came back from it early. She was doing some other stuff. My grandmother came back early because her stomach wasn't feeling good. Now she's feeling better, and hopefully my grandmother's okay. My grandmother doesn't have COVID. Don't get me wrong. No, not to worry. My grandma does not have COVID. My grandparents got their second shot of the COVID vaccine last week. So, but I'm sure my grandparents will be fine. I know they don't have COVID, but I think they'll be okay. Anyways, so hopefully my grandparents, my grandpa, and especially my grandma, hopefully my grandma's better this time with her stomach, and hopefully my grandparents are okay. So that I will say. And now going back to this Biggie and Apollo Crews situation, I'm really liking what they're doing right here with Apollo Crews and Biggie right here. I really am. Roman Reigns, the best part of SmackDown, and now Biggie and Apollo Crews as well. This heel Nigerian Apollo Crews is fucking great. Apollo Crews is your next Intercontinental Champion. No questions asked. I don't care what anyone says. Apollo is winning that title. Apollo Crews is your next Intercontinental Champion come WrestleMania this year. I guarantee it. This heel Nigerian Apollo Crews, absolutely nailing it, man. This has Paul Heyman DNA written all over it, and you're never going to convince me otherwise. This heel Nigerian Apollo Crews. If Vince and Bruce were booking this, they would bury Crews. They would bury Apollo Crews like fucking that. Like that. This heel Nigerian Apollo Crews, you can tell that Vince and Bruce have absolutely nothing to do with this. This heel Nigerian Apollo Crews, this has Paul Heyman DNA written all over it. And I would not be surprised if Daniel Bryan has influence with this too. But this heel Nigerian Apollo Crews, I'm really liking it, man. I really am. And Apollo Crews as a heel, Apollo Crews, he may be he may be a way better heel than a baby. He may very he may be a he may be a he may be a way better heel than a babyface at this point. At this point, with Apollo Crews, never turn him babyface again. This heel Nigerian Apollo Crews is absolutely fucking. This heel Nigerian Apollo Crews is absolutely fantastic, man. And I'm liking what they're doing. And I'm liking what they're doing as of late with Biggie and Apollo Crews. Really good stuff here. And the second interview, really good as well. Biggie not smiling. Biggie serious. No more New Day Biggie. Biggie no smiling at all serious with Biggie. I like it. I like it. Absolutely like it. And I'm really liking what Biggie's doing right now. And I'm and with the draft last October, they sent Kofi and Woods to Monday Night Raw. In the draft last October, they sent Kofi and Woods to Monday Night Raw, and they sent Kofi and Woods to Monday Night Raw, and they kept Biggie on SmackDown. What we're seeing right now with Biggie as of late on SmackDown, I'm glad Biggie's on SmackDown right now, and I'm glad that Biggie's on SmackDown right now on his own right now. Look at what Biggie's doing right now. Really good stuff. Really, really good stuff. Good matches with Sami Zayn. He's having a really good feud as of late with Apollo Crews. Decent matches with Nakamura. I'm liking what Biggie's doing right now. Same thing with Apollo Crews, especially Crews. I'm liking what Biggie's doing right now. I'm liking what Biggie's doing right now. Same thing with Crews, especially Apollo Crews. Especially Apollo Crews. And Crews is your next IC champion. And Apollo Crews, man, he is your next Intercontinental champion. Come WrestleMania 37 this year in Tampa. No questions asked. I don't care what anyone says. Sit down interview. Biggie and Apollo Crews. Really good stuff. Really, really good stuff. And I know Biggie and Apollo Crews, for the IC title, they're fighting each other. And I know Biggie and Apollo Crews, and with Biggie and Apollo Crews, I know they're fighting each other tonight at Fastlane. Fastlane for the IC title with Fastlane tonight. I understand that. They'll probably do a fuck finish tonight, and then probably fight each other again at Mania. Probably, more likely than not, for the title again, but probably in a stipulation match. Probably more likely than not. Probably Biggie and Apollo Crews. I expect Biggie and Apollo Crews for the IC title at WrestleMania. I expect that, even though we're getting the match tonight before WrestleMania. But Biggie and Apollo Crews, I'm liking what they've been doing as of late. But Biggie and Apollo Crews, I'm liking what they've been doing as of late on SmackDown, man. And the first time in a while, and the IC title also, and the IC title also feeling important again as well for the first time in a while. The IC title now important again right now for the first time in a while, in a long time, and God knows how long. IC title feels important again for the first time in God knows how long. The IC title feels important again for the first time in God knows how long. The IC title, the Intercontinental Championship, feels important again for the first time in God knows how long. Crews and Biggie, I'm liking what they've been doing as of late on SmackDown. Biggie and Apollo Crews, I'm liking what they've been doing. I'm really like Biggie and Apollo Crews. I'm really liking what they've been doing as of late on SmackDown as of late. And the sit-down interview, really good here with Biggie and Apollo Crews. And then we get the next match of the night. Bianca Belair versus Shayna Baszler with Nia Jax. Belair versus Baszler again. Banks walks out on the stage. Banks lets out a laugh and leaves. Belair is confused. Belair sends Baszler sends Belair out of the ring. Jax looks at Belair and leaves ringside. Baszler doesn't know what's happening. Natalya and Tamina hit the ring and attack Baszler and Belair. Bianca Belair versus Shayna Baszler ends in a no contest. And then we get the main event of the night. Edge versus Jey Uso, with the winner being the special guest outside enforcer for the Universal Championship match at Fastlane between Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan. Edge versus Jey Uso, with Edge wrestling on SmackDown one-on-one for the first time in a decade. And so then for this match, Daniel Bryan is at the commentary desk with Colin Graves for the match. Edge almost locks Uso in the crossface. Uso avoids it, however. Edge lands in a few elbow strikes. Edge lands a couple knee lifts. Edge and Jey Uso then end up fighting outside the ring. Uso manages to land a suicide dive, but that sends Edge into the announce desk midsection first. Then they go to break. Then after the break, Uso then stomps on Edge's back. Uso knocks Edge off the apron. Uso sends Edge back into the ring. Uso and Edge then crash into each other as they were both trying to crossbody block at the same time. Both men are down. Edge gets to his feet first. Edge sends Uso shoulder first into the turnbuckle. Edge dives off the second rope and knees Uso in his injured shoulder. Uso surprises Edge with a Samoan drop. Edge kicks out. Edge then hits a Hurricane Rana off the top rope. Edge almost lands on his head. Uso kicks out. Edge blocks a super kick and hits the implant DDT, or the execution. Edge then calls for the spear. Uso counters with a super kick. Uso then lands the Uso splash off the top. Uso's shoulder keeps him from making the cover quickly. Edge kicks out at 2.5. Edge then slams Uso into the mat by his injured shoulder. Edge then hits the spear. And then 1, 2, 3. And Edge beats Jey Uso. And Edge will be the special enforcer for the Universal Championship match at Fastlane between Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan. And then after the match, Reigns then hits the ring and spears Edge. Reigns then tells Bryan to come get some. Bryan stands up and is immediately attacked from behind by Jey Uso. Jey Uso then sends Daniel Bryan into the ring. Roman Reigns then spears Daniel Bryan. And then SmackDown goes off the air. SmackDown goes off the air this past Friday night, 2 nights ago. And that was that with SmackDown from this past Friday night from 2 nights ago. Not a really good show. If you ask me, was it better than Raw? Absolutely. Anything is better than Raw at this point. But SmackDown 2 nights ago was not really a good show. But SmackDown 2 nights ago, not really a good show if you ask me. Not really a good show. I just wasn't feeling it. And Edge was on the show, and it's like Edge is there. SmackDown ratings go down. The SmackDown from 2 nights ago, the overnight ratings with SmackDown 2 nights ago came out yesterday. I read it from Ringside News. Hold on, I can pull it up. If I can pull it up. Hold on. SmackDown ratings. There we go. If I can ever load this. Here we go. Oh, yeah, here we go. The overnight ratings from SmackDown 2 nights ago. Overnight ratings from SmackDown 2 nights ago. 1.946 million viewers, below 2 million viewers. Yeah, people want to say Edge is a draw, right? Sure. Edge is not a draw. Nobody wants to see Edge on SmackDown. And ask yourself, is SmackDown worse with Edge not there? SmackDown won't be worse if Edge isn't there. In fact, Edge off SmackDown makes SmackDown that much better. Like, SmackDown won't be worse if Edge is not there. Nobody wants to see Edge there. Nobody wants to see Edge on SmackDown. We don't need Edge on SmackDown. Edge will lose at WrestleMania 37, and Edge will go back to Raw. And then after WrestleMania 37, Edge will then go back to Raw. Edge will then go back to Raw, where he fucking belongs. Nobody's gonna miss Edge on SmackDown. Nobody's gonna miss Edge on SmackDown. Nobody even wants Edge on SmackDown. And the overnight ratings from SmackDown tonight to go fucking show it. They do. That doesn't show you that. I don't know what does. Nobody wants to see Edge on SmackDown. SmackDown, it's like, will SmackDown be worse if Edge is not there? No. In fact, you take Edge off SmackDown. That makes SmackDown that much better. We don't need Edge on SmackDown. Nobody's going to miss him on SmackDown. Nobody even wants him on SmackDown. Nobody even wants Edge on SmackDown. And if the overnight ratings from SmackDown tonight's go, if that didn't show you that, and if the overnight ratings from SmackDown tonight's go didn't show you that, I don't know what does. Nobody wants to see Edge on SmackDown. And SmackDown tonight's go, and SmackDown tonight's ago was not a good show. It was not a good show. And that's a SmackDown review portion. And that's a SmackDown review portion from this very video right here from SmackDown 2 nights ago, March 19th of 2021. The SmackDown Golem Show with Fastlane tonight. The SmackDown before Fastlane 2021, in which Fastlane is tonight. And speaking of Fastlane, we're right now going to talk about this. And this is the main event of this very video right here. The Fastlane 2021 preview and predictions. Fastlane 2021 preview and predictions. We have 7 matches with Fastlane tonight. 7 matches. We have 7 matches with Fastlane tonight. First match. Women's Tag Team Championship match. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler with Reginald versus Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair and SmackDown Women's Champion Sasha Banks. We got this match at the Chamber, and we're getting this match again at Fastlane. Terrible. And Sasha and Bianca, this feud, they fucked it up. Not completely, but they have been fucking this up. They really have, man. Shayna and Nia. I don't like Shayna and Nia. I don't like them. I like Shayna, but not Nia. But Shayna and Nia, I'm picking to retain here. Sasha and Belair, Sasha and Bianca, them winning the titles, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. And Jackson Baszler, I'm picking them to retain. And Sasha Banks needs to turn heel. If Sasha doesn't turn heel, I'm telling you right now, Sasha or Bianca. Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. If one of those two, Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. If one of those two If one of those two doesn't turn heel before WrestleMania, before their match at Mania this year, you know there's a fucking problem. You know there's a fucking problem. Banks or Belair needs to turn heel here. Banks or Belair needs to turn heel here. Personally, if I was booking this, I would turn Sasha Banks heel. I would turn Sasha Banks heel. Oh, but Sasha's a better babyface, man. Look, is Sasha a decent babyface? Yes, but Sasha is a better heel. Sasha is a better bitch. Go watch NXT Takeover Respect, where Sasha. Go watch NXT Takeover Respect, where Sasha Banks made Izzy cry. 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 Sasha Banks is a better heel than a babyface. Sasha Banks is a decent babyface, but Sasha Banks is a better heel. Sasha Banks is a better heel. Those are the facts. Banks or Belair needs to turn heel here. Sasha needs to turn. Sasha needs to turn heel. Sasha Banks needs to turn heel. And if it doesn't happen before WrestleMania this year, you know there's a fucking issue. Shayna and Nia are retaining, and Sasha needs to turn heel. And then the next match, Matt Riddle, U.S. title match with Matt Riddle versus Mustafa Ali. We got the match, Riddle and Ali for the U.S. title. We got it on Raw this past Monday night. Now we're getting the match again at Fastlane tonight. Rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. Look, I like Mustafa Ali, but they need to break up Retribution, man. They do. Retribution's a failure. They've been a failure from the start. Retribution have been losers on Raw. Retribution has been booked like losers on Raw. Matt Riddle, Mustafa Ali for the U.S. title. I'm picking Matt Riddle. He just won the U.S. title. Matt Riddle, he just won the U.S. title last month in February at the Elimination Chamber. Why would you take the U.S. title off of Matt Riddle right here? It makes no sense. Makes no sense whatsoever. I'm picking Matt Riddle to retain. And I think Mustafa Ali, I think, breaks away from Retribution here. And the Retribution breaking up. The sooner that happens, the better. Retribution, they need to just break them up. Retribution's a fail. It's a fail from the start. And Retribution, no one takes them seriously. It's a fail. And Retribution, there's a reason why I call them Failure-bution with T-balls and Mace or Disgrace or Mice or Rice or Mickey Mouse. And then you got Ice Cold or Reckoning, you got Mustafa Ali, and then you got Slapjack or my good old buddy Slapnuts or Jack Black, Jack Off, Applejack, Cracker Jack, Jack Nuts, Slap Ass. Matt Riddle, Mustafa Ali for the U.S. title. I'm picking Matt Riddle to retain. And then we get the next match, intergender match. Alexa Bliss versus Randy Orton. This won't even be a match. Like, when was the last time WWE had a proper intergender match? It's been a long time. And Orton and Bliss, more likely than not, it's going to be a cinematic match. It's not even going to be Orton versus Bliss. It's not even going to be a match. It won't. It's not even going to be a match whatsoever. And I'm hearing rumors of The Fiend returning tonight. Oh joy, The Fiend returning tonight. Man, I am excited for The Fiend returning tonight. Said no one ever. Oh, but the Fiend could return tonight with a new mask, man. They could do that, and I still won't care about The Fiend versus Orton going into WrestleMania this year. Orton and The Fiend this year at Mania. I have zero interest in that. I have absolutely zero interest in that. I have absolutely zero interest in that. And more likely than not, the Fiend will return tonight, and I'm not going to care. And no one's going to care. No one's going to care. Because the Fiend is fucking dead. You can thank Bill Goldberg for that with Saudi Arabia last year in February. With Saudi Arabia last year in February 2020, the Fiend is dead. Just like Braun Strowman, the Fiend is dead. The Fiend will probably return tonight, and I'm still not going to care. And Bliss versus Orton, I think Bliss is going to win with a cinematic match, and the Fiend's going to interfere. Bliss is going to win. I think that's what's going to happen. But again, this Orton and Fiend shit, I just don't care. They just need to end it now at Mania and just get it over with. Fiend versus Orton, WrestleMania, end it already and get it over with. And put Orton in something more better and more relevant. Awful. Absolutely fucking terrible, if you ask me. And then we got the next match, no holds barred match, Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus. McIntyre and Sheamus, one-on-one. They gave it away on Raw a few weeks ago. They had McIntyre and Sheamus on Raw in a match for 20 minutes back a few weeks ago. They had Raw a few weeks ago. 20-minute match with Sheamus McIntyre from Raw a few weeks ago. Raw gave that away a few weeks ago. And now with Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre, now we're getting that match again tonight at Fastlane, but this time in no holds barred. I mean, it should be a good match, but we've seen a little bit too much. And this past Monday night on Raw in the main event, Lashley and Sheamus lost clean. So Sheamus looks weak going into this match tonight at Fastlane against Drew McIntyre to Sheamus. And Sheamus lost to Lashley. And Sheamus lost to Lashley in the main event of Raw this past Monday night. And Sheamus lost to Lashley in the main event of Raw this past Monday night. And Sheamus lost to Lashley in the main event of Raw this past Monday night. And Sheamus and McIntyre tonight at Fastlane, no holds barred. I expect McIntyre to win this thing. Sheamus is going to walk tonight at Fastlane. Sheamus will walk out a loser, and I hate to say that because Sheamus I like, and he's a good worker. But Sheamus, they're not doing him any. But Sheamus, as of late, they're not doing him any. They are not doing him any. They are not doing him any favors whatsoever, and that's terrible. Terrible. Should be a good match, but man, oh man, Sheamus, they're not doing him any justice whatsoever. They're not. Drew McIntyre and Sheamus, no holds barred. I expect McIntyre to win because he's fighting Lashley this year. Because he's fighting Bobby Lashley this year at WrestleMania for the WWE title. Why would you have McIntyre lose tonight? So McIntyre and Sheamus tonight, you're booking yourselves right into a corner. McIntyre can't lose, and Sheamus can't lose. You're booking yourselves right into a corner here with this no holds barred match tonight at Fastlane with Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre. Awful. I expect McIntyre to win tonight. Sheamus is not winning tonight. McIntyre is beating Sheamus tonight. I'm picking Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre is beating Sheamus tonight. I'm picking Drew McIntyre. So we went over the women's tag title match predictions. We went over with the predictions for Sheamus and Drew McIntyre, and Alexa Bliss, Randy Orton, and Matt Riddle, Mustafa Ali. And then the next match, one-on-one match, Shinsuke Nakamura versus Seth Rollins. This should be a good match tonight. This match I'm looking forward to. with Fastlane tonight. Nakamura Rollins. I'm looking forward to this match tonight, and I remember Survivor Series 2018 and Rollins versus Nakamura. This is Rollins versus Nakamura 1-1 Part 2 with Fastlane tonight as far as that goes. And I remember Rollins versus Nakamura, their first 1-on-1 match. I remember that at the 2018 Survivor Series when Rollins was on Raw as the Intercontinental Champion, when Shinsuke was on SmackDown as the U.S. Champ at the time back in November in 2018, 3 years ago, at the 2018 Survivor Series in Los Angeles. I remember that match at Rollins versus Nakamura at the 2018 Survivor Series for over SmackDown. I remember that match very well at the 2018 Survivor Series, and that match was pretty darn good. Rollins won, but the match was pretty good. Then that match from the 2018 Survivor Series, very underrated. I don't think a lot of people talk about that. And Rollins versus Nakamura, their match from Survivor Series 2018, seriously underrated if you ask me. And they had a good match at the 2018 Survivor Series, and I expect them to have a good match tonight as well. And Rollins and Nakamura, I expect them to have a good match again as well for a second time, but this time with tonight at Fastlane. And at Survivor Series 2018, Shinsuke, and at Survivor Series 2018, Shinsuke Nakamura was the heel, and Seth Rollins was the babyface when it was the 2018 Survivor Series. Fastlane 2021, now the roles are reversed, and Rollins is, and this time Rollins is the heel, and this time Shinsuke is the babyface. And Shinsuke and Rollins, this should be a good match, but I'm picking Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins has been feuding with SmackDown as of late. Seth Rollins has been feuding with Cesaro on SmackDown as of late, and I thought they'd do Fastlane tonight, Cesaro versus Seth Rollins. That's not the case, thank God. And Shinsuke and Seth should be a good match tonight. I don't like what they're doing with Shinsuke with having him being in a position to lose to Seth tonight, but it should be a good match. Seth and Shinsuke should be a good match, though. And, I mean, it's going to be a good match. Shinsuke will look good in defeat, but Seth's going to beat Nakamura in a good match tonight. And it's going to be Seth and Cesaro. And WrestleMania this year, I think one of the nights, I think it's going to be Seth Rollins and Cesaro at WrestleMania this year on night 1 or night 2. I'm not sure it's like you have it on night 1 or night 2, but it'll definitely be on one of the nights for this year's WrestleMania. Cesaro and Seth Rollins is definitely happening for sure this year at WrestleMania, no doubt. And Seth is going to beat Shinsuke here. And when WrestleMania comes this year on one of the nights with Seth Rollins versus Cesaro, Cesaro needs to go over. And Cesaro has been with the WWE for like almost 10 years. Cesaro's been with this company for almost a decade. And Cesaro having a big time match at WrestleMania, I don't think Cesaro's ever gotten that before in his WWE run, in my opinion. Oh, but the Andre the Giant Battle Royal at WrestleMania 30, man. Cesaro won that, man. That doesn't count. That doesn't count. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, that means nothing. You could put me in that Battle Royal. You could put me in that Battle Royal, and I could win it, and it would mean nothing. That's how worthless that, like the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, that's how worthless it is. You just win a trophy. There's no title opportunity. There's no title opportunity stipulation on the line. Nothing like that on the line. You just win a trophy, and that's it. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, that Battle Royal doesn't mean a thing. It doesn't. Same thing with the Women's Battle Royal, WrestleMania. It means nothing. Cesaro having a big time important match at WrestleMania. I don't think Cesaro's ever gotten that before. So this is a big deal for him, and this is the biggest match of Cesaro's career. And Seth Rollins and Cesaro at WrestleMania, that's a good undercard match. WrestleMania this year, Cesaro versus Seth Rollins. And Cesaro should go over. And Seth is pretty much bulletproof at this point. And a loss to Cesaro at WrestleMania, it's not going to hurt Seth Rollins in the long run. It's not going to damage Seth Rollins in the long run. It's not going to damage Seth Rollins in the long run. Seth is pretty much bulletproof at this point. And Seth Rollins returned. And Seth Rollins, he returned to the men's Rumble this year. And Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura tonight with Fastlane tonight. Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura. This is Seth's first match back, one-on-one match for the first time since Seth returned at the Rumble this year for the men. Seth Rollins. I'm picking Seth to beat Shinsuke tonight, and then Seth and Cesaro. Sure, WrestleMania one of the nights, Cesaro must go over. One loss to Cesaro is not going to hurt Rollins. Rollins is pretty much one loss to Cesaro is not going to hurt Seth. Seth is bulletproof at this point. Cesaro needs to win more, and a loss to Cesaro ain't going to hurt Rollins. Rollins is pretty much bulletproof at this point. Seth and Shinsuke should be a really good match tonight. I'm picking Seth for Shinsuke. I think Seth beats Shinsuke, and then Cesaro beats Seth at WrestleMania. That's my thought. Those are my thoughts on all that. And then we get the next match, Intercontinental title match, Biggie versus Apollo Crews. Like I just mentioned minutes ago with the SmackDown review portion of this very video right here, Roman Reigns, one of the good things of SmackDown, along with Biggie and Apollo Crews. I'm liking what Biggie's been doing as of late. I'm liking what Apollo Crews has been doing as of late. Apollo Crews recently just turned heel. Apollo Crews is now this heel Nigerian. I'm really liking it. Now, Crews and Biggie tonight at Fastlane for the one-on-one match for the Intercontinental Championship. Should Crews win the title tonight? No. Crews should win the Apollo Crews' IC champ. Apollo Crews won the IC title. Where should that happen? WrestleMania this year at Tampa. That's what needs to happen. Biggie and Apollo Crews tonight. At Fastlane won for the IC title. I think we get some kind of a fuck finish tonight, which leads to a second match with the two for the IC title again, but in Tampa this year at WrestleMania, where I think Crews wins the title there. I think like Apollo Crews winning the IC title this year at WrestleMania in Tampa. I think that's the way to go. I think that's the proper way to go, if you ask me. And I think we might get a fuck finish tonight. And then Crews wins the IC title this year at WrestleMania in Tampa. I think that's the way to go. Biggie should keep the title tonight in some kind of fuck finish. And then Crews wins the IC title this year at WrestleMania in Tampa. I think that's what should I think that is what should happen. I think that is what should happen. And then the seventh and last match with Fastlane tonight. And I think in my opinion, this should be the main event. In my opinion, for Fastlane tonight as well. Seventh match, Fastlane tonight. Universal Championship match with Edge as the special guest outside enforcer. Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman and Jey Uso, with Roman Reigns defending the Universal Championship against Daniel Bryan. Now, before I talk about this match, I forgot to mention this minutes ago with this very video. Is Fastlane necessary? No, it's not. And after Fastlane, 3 weeks to go before WrestleMania this year, 3 weeks left till Mania, not enough to get you to care. And Fastlane is not necessary. It's nothing but an F level Raw on a Sunday. It's nothing but an F level Raw on a Sunday night. Fastlane is not necessary. And Fastlane is not necessary, and Fastlane makes no sense. The Elimination Chamber makes sense. Fastlane, no. Fastlane, no. If Fastlane didn't happen this year, the Mania build would have probably been a lot better, in my opinion. Fastlane is not necessary. It should not even be happening. Fastlane should not even be happening. That's my take on all that. Fastlane should not be happening whatsoever. That's my take on all that. Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan. Universal title tonight, Fastlane. Roman's not losing that title. Roman ain't losing that title, but Bryan's not losing clean either. Edge is a special guest outside enforcer. Edge and Bryan, as of late on SmackDown, they've been teasing that they don't like each other. Edge says, I'm better than Daniel Bryan. Edge says, I'm better than Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan says, I'm better than Edge. So, Edge and Bryan, they've been teasing tension as of late on SmackDown. So, Edge and Daniel Bryan, they've been teasing tension with each other over the past couple weeks, recently on SmackDown as of late. Edge and Daniel Bryan, they've been teasing tension with each other as of late, recently on SmackDown over the past couple weeks. Even SmackDown, I believe 2 weeks ago, it was the end of SmackDown from 2 weeks ago, I believe. It was the end of SmackDown 2 weeks ago, I believe, where in the ring, Daniel Bryan hit Edge with the running knee. And it's like you think Edge, and it's like Daniel Bryan hit the running knee on Edge. You think Edge is like Edge is gonna want his retribution. Edge hit the running knee. Daniel Bryan hit the running knee on Edge back at the end of SmackDown from 2 weeks ago, and Edge wants his payback on that. And Edge is a special guest enforcer tonight. Reigns is not losing the title tonight, but Bryan's not losing clean either. I mean, Jimmy Uso could come back, but Reigns is not losing the title tonight. But at the same time, Bryan's not losing clean either. I think Edge cost Bryan the title tonight. I think Edge fucks over Bryan tonight. There's gonna be there's gonna be a fuck finish tonight. Reigns is retaining, but Reigns won't retain clean. Reigns will keep the title. Roman Reigns will retain the Universal title tonight, but Daniel Bryan's not losing clean either. Edge is a special guest outside enforcer, but Edge is gonna fuck Daniel Bryan over, allowing Roman to retain. And then after this, I think so Roman's gonna retain. Edge is gonna fuck Bryan over. Like Bryan, Daniel Bryan, he hit Edge with a running knee on SmackDown a couple of weeks ago. You know Edge is gonna want his payback on that. So Edge is gonna fuck Daniel Bryan over tonight. He's gonna cost Bryan the title tonight against Roman. Roman Reigns will retain the Universal Championship tonight. Daniel Bryan is gonna get fucked over by Edge. And this will lead to a triple threat at WrestleMania for the Universal title. Edge versus Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan. Because you're not leaving Daniel Bryan. Because with Daniel Bryan, you are not leaving him off. You are not leaving him off WrestleMania this year. I'm telling you that right now. If Bryan's not on the card this year, you are doing a major, major fucking mistake. If Bryan's not on Mania this year, you're making a huge, huge fucking mistake. Bryan needs to be on Mania this year. And no, Daniel Bryan's not going in the Hall of Fame. And Bryan even teased this could be his last WrestleMania this year. And Daniel Bryan's contract is up. And Daniel Bryan's WWE contract, it's up this September. Daniel Bryan's not leaving WWE. He's not going to AEW. And I know some people, oh, Daniel Bryan, he's going to be oily. He should go to AEW. He's going to AEW. Daniel Bryan's going to AEW. No, he's not. No, he's not. Daniel Bryan will sign a new contract. Daniel Bryan will sign a new contract with WWE this September. Daniel Bryan's not going to AEW. And he's not retiring. He's just going to go part-time. Or he may be full-time on the roster, but he won't be booked on SmackDown, but he won't be booked every single week. You'll probably be booked 2 weeks out of the 4 weeks with each month. And he's only booked when it's important. That's probably what will happen. Edge, Roman is retaining tonight. Edge is fucking Bryan over. Roman is retaining tonight. Edge is fucking Bryan over. And it could lead to a triple threat at WrestleMania this year. And this could all lead to a triple threat match. Sure, WrestleMania for the Universal Championship, but a triple threat match with Edge, Roman Reigns, and Daniel Bryan. That could very well happen. Because with Daniel Bryan, you're not leaving him off of WrestleMania this year. You're not. And if you leave Bryan off of Mania this year, you're shooting yourselves right in the fucking foot. You're shooting yourselves right. You are shooting yourselves right in the foot if you leave Bryan off Mania this year. It needs to be a triple threat at Mania for the Universal title with Edge, Roman, and Bryan. That needs to happen. I don't care what anyone says. Edge, Roman, Bryan, triple threat WrestleMania Universal title. That needs to happen. I don't give a damn what anyone says. I don't give a shit what anyone says. Edge, Roman, Bryan, triple threat Universal title WrestleMania this year in Tampa. That needs to happen. And those are your preview predictions for Fastlane 2021 with tonight. And that is that with this very video right here. And that is that for the Raw. And that is a wrap, folks, with this very video right here. With the Raw review from Raw this past Monday night, the SmackDown review from SmackDown Tonight to Go, and the Fastlane preview with Fastlane with tonight. And that is that. Follow me on Twitter at FioriNick579. Follow me on Instagram at NicholasFiori2014. And follow me on Facebook at Nicholas.Fiori.31. And be sure to hit a like on the video, guys. It'd be greatly appreciated. Make sure you subscribe to the Fiori Nation YouTube channel as well. Turn on that bell for all notifications as well. Hit that bell for all notifications so you get notified whenever I upload videos from the channel onto YouTube. So be sure you subscribe to the Fiori Nation YouTube channel right here on YouTube.com. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell for all notifications as well, guys. And make sure you hit a like. And make sure you like this video as well, guys. It would be really greatly appreciated. And that is that. I'm Nick Fiori. Fiori Nation YouTube channel. Right here on YouTube.com. I'm getting the hell out of here. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Hope you guys liked the video. And thank you guys so much for joining me. And enjoy the rest of your day today. And I'm going to watch Fastlane tonight live. And I'm going to watch Fastlane tonight live on the WWE Network or on Peacock, probably on the WWE Network tonight. And again, thank you guys so much for joining me. Thank you guys so much for joining me for this very video right here. Hope you guys liked the video and had a good time with the video. And thank you guys And thank you guys for this very video right here. I greatly appreciate it. I really greatly appreciate you guys, and thank you guys, and I will see you next time right here on the channel for more good video content right here in the channel. And tomorrow, probably right here in the channel, review video reviewing this past Wednesday and Thursday's NXT UK, and NXT and AEW Dynamite. The review video for those 3 shows from this past Wednesday and Thursday. The review video with the show with this past Wednesday and Thursday NXT UK, and AEW Dynamite. You should probably expect tomorrow right in the channel the review video reviewing this past week's NXT UK, and AEW Dynamite. The review video reviewing those 3 the review video reviewing those 3 shows from this past week. You should probably expect that tomorrow for 2 o'clock. And then I'll be watching Fastlane live tonight as well, obviously, guys. And the Fastlane 2021 review video, you should probably expect that after 4 tomorrow before Raw. And that is that. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Hope you guys liked the video. And I'll see you next time right here in the channel for more good content right here on the channel. Thank you guys so much, and I will talk to you guys later. Oh, and Dylan Ketchum in the chat. Hey, Nichols, what's up? What's up, Dylan Ketchum? Hope you're doing well. And, yeah, I'm about to end the video, though. But anyways, hope you're doing all right, Dylan. And, well, and hope you're doing all right, Dylan. And, yeah, and a shout out to you, Dylan Ketchum. And I want to say what's up. And, yeah, and I'm not excited for Fastlane tonight, but I'm hoping we get a decent show tonight. I'm hoping. But that's that. Again, thank you guys so much for joining me. And I'll see you next time right here on the Furious Nation YouTube channel. Right here on YouTube for more good content. Right in the channel. I'll see you next time right here in the channel for more good video content right here on the channel. Thank you guys so much, and I will talk to you guys later.